Hello everyone, welcome to Down and Dirty. I'm Larry and today we're going to change a valve cover gasket on a 2005 Jeep LJ with a 4.0 straight 6. Gasket's leaking pretty bad, so we're going to pull the valve cover, get everything cleaned up, and replace it with the new Velcro valve cover gasket. Alright, well let's get dirty. Like, subscribe, and share. Comment below. Alright, first thing we're going to do, get our intake hose taken off here. Goes from our filter to the injection. We'll use a nut driver. Or a flat screwdriver. Undo your hose clamp, band clamp. Got a sensor over there to unplug. By the way, it's a 5/16. Push in on your little release tab, unplug your sensor. Pop your hose off, get it out of the way. Then we want to stick a rag or something down in the throttle body there so we don't drop anything in it. I'll stick one of these blue towels in there. Alright, so now we're going to work on getting everything else out of our way here. Pop everything out. Just gonna try to tuck everything down all the way. Make sure you put all that back together. So we've got like a wire loom back here. We're gonna have to get out of the way. I got a bracket up here for these AC lines that it's going to have to come off to get it out of the way. So I couldn't get these to come apart, but it popped right out of the intake. So there again, need to put something in that hole. So we don't end up with anything going down the intake. This is the bracket I was talking about. We're going to have to get taken off of the AC line. You see where it bolts to the head? It overhangs the valve cover. So now you get that out of the way. Then we have this wire loom on the rear that we're going to have to work on getting out of the way. Get this AC bracket off first. This is a 5/16 socket. Screw that holds it together. And 11/16 on this nut. Need to unplug this pressure switch here, AC line, the wires in the way, get this bracket rotated around, and pull it up out of there. Now we're going to figure out that wire loom. Looks like the nuts on here are 7/16. We got one here. Where that hose clamp holder was mounted. The other side of the loom looks like it just pushes onto a stud. It's gonna be one of those, another one that's a pain to get released. Then we pop this wire loom open. So it's got a cover on it. thing has clips front and back to get pulled out. Of course, you can't see the back at all. Tell what you're doing. Couldn't guess where it's at. Cut it off. What a pain in the butt that is. So we may have to get all these wires freed up just so we can get that up and out of there. This cover all unsnap. Remove that wire. Loom cover. I'm probably going to want to unplug this rear injector. Got a little red safety latch here. Use your thumb, pop that up, and then push in on it and unplug it. On this one's easier to see, but this red part has to be lifted up like so, so it unlocks, so you can push the release tab. It's right there. It protects the release tab so it can't accidentally be unplugged. I think we may have enough play here to get this out now. Okay, now let's see if we can get this thing out of here. Take a screwdriver here, pry up on it. Get it off the stud. Get it off the stud, we can get it out of the way. There's that side. Get this side up. There it is. Personally, I think that's kind of a crappy way to do something, but it's what it is. It's how they did it. Now, so we've got a ground strap back here that goes from a head bolt to the hood. So it's the same size as what this front one. So we got to get that off. We got all the bolts and studs out of this valve cover first. Studs. The rest of them are bolts, so you need to keep track of where your studs were at. So we've got two rear, and then we have one on the passenger side. Lines up with our fill cap. So we need to keep track of that. So we can get this out of here. Hold this up. That is definite. That ground clamp back there has got to come off. Like they have a very large washer on it that the valve cover is hitting on. Just can't lift it up. Between that combination of your upper radiator hose, what's catching on the front, so it's kind of wedged in here. Nut has a large washer on. Oh, let's see if we can get it out. Oh, put it on back there. Tight fit. So gasket out of here. Definitely been leaking. It is grungy. Now, get me a putty knife, try to scrape off. This area is worse than over here. So I don't have a whole lot of buildup. Just wipe it off. Just make sure you got a good clean surface for your new gasket. all the grungy stuff cleaned off. So now we got it all scraped out, we're going to use the shop back here and suck out all the crumbs laying down in there. Okay, now we got to get this valve cover all cleaned up. All right, so we got to get this valve cover all cleaned up. First, we got to get all these little grommets out of here. So you got a metal insert and a rubber grommet. That didn't sound rubber anymore. That actually broke. Wow, that thing's hard as a rock. Yeah, these are supposed to be rubber, soft. That's what seals. Not crispy, crispy hard. So anyway, let's go all the way around the valve cover, pop all these out. So we can get it all grunge all cleaned off of it. Pop in new ones. Install our new gasket. They're all back together. Okay, most of those broke. Like I say, you got the steel insert, which will get these all cleaned up, but this is the part that you're replacing. So, get this valve cover all cleaned up, and we'll come back. Okay, now we got our valve cover all cleaned up and nice and purty. You can put these gaskets in here. Grommets. They're cold. Just gonna go around, pop them in the holes, and then put your metal sleeves on. These are actually soft and pliable. Unlike the ones we took out that were all brittle. Broke into pieces. Okay. Here's the gasket that I used. Okay, let's get our new gasket put on here. Make sure you have it oriented correctly. And there are a couple locator pins that it should set on. Okay, valve cover back on. Just like that. It's definitely tight getting it in there. Get all of our bolts and studs back in the correct places. How we do this, you just go around and you want to just snug everything. Finger tight. I'm doing it by the pattern that you torque. Do it from the center out. Alternate back and forth, front to rear. I'm torquing these 85 inch-pounds. You do whatever your specs call for. All right. Actually, I'm going to torque them yet. Snug them up some with this first. I got this stuff torqued up. Okay, all done. I just gotta put the rest of the stuff back on. Wire loom covers, plug hoses back into place. So there it is, all finished up. I actually was gonna record putting everything back on, but I had the camera paused. Anyway, no big deal. You just reverse process of taking everything off. Got all of the wire loom covers back on, hoses all reconnected. Don't forget, if you had to, like I did, you probably will, I unplugged that rear injector. Make sure you plug it back in. Make sure you plug this back in, and the AC pressure switch once you get that bracket back on there. So that's it. All right, well, that concludes this video. Replace the valve cover gasket on a 2005 LJ 4.0 straight 6. Not too bad of a job. A little bit of a struggle wiggling the valve cover out of there. Wiring harness going over the back of the rear of the valve cover is definitely a pain in the butt. But other than that, it went real well. All right, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Take care. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.